Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Limitless Potential Show. Today we have another exciting guest who I cannot wait to introduce you to, the one and only Bram Bottema. I should have probably asked you how to pronounce your last name before we went live then. Did I get it right?
Yes, it's good.
Okay, good. My accent, I guess it's okay. I love it. And so today we're going to be discussing breaking out of the prison of your own mind. And we've got a sneaky little exciting thing that we'll be doing a little later in the show, highlighting some of Bram's amazing talents and gifts. And you'll see what the little connection point is with our title as well. So to start off with, Bram, I would love for you to just introduce yourself a little bit, let people know where in the world you are and, kind of just what it is that you're passionate about, and before we dive into the questions.
Okay. Well, my name is Bram. I am from the Netherlands, from a province called North Holland. And yeah, not sure what to say about that else, but yeah, I currently work as in a sales position. Not that it's pretty exciting to talk about right now, but I like to dive more into this stuff, of course. But yeah, I've done a lot of different things. I was an electrician at first, and I went in production, like in a factory, and also worked at a post office, um, and then went to a total different view, to do a different job site, which was administration, customer service, and now I'm actually working at a sales department. Who would have known? So yeah, I've been really here and there and everywhere, as they say, yeah, I think I'm most passionate about, of course, music and personal development.
Yep.
And that's, of course, why I joined Limitless Potential Academy.
Yeah, and you've been with us for a while now, right? We've been building our
Yeah.
connection over the sea for a while.
Over 2.5 years. So it's been going on for quite some time right now. So pretty happy about that. Still
I
happy
love
part of it.
You're an awesome asset to the team, and grateful that you're not sick of me yet. Maybe you'll get there. But I want to ask you, what are you most grateful for in your life right now?
Breath, because
Uh-huh.
it's taken for granted, I feel. And you can change your life if you just focus on your breath, I really feel that. And if you meditate or just focus on it and breathe in deeply, it just, you fill your body with energy, with life, really. So it's literally breathing in life, so so yeah, breath breath is so important. It's not just it's not just something we always do. It's something we really should focus on. So yes, breath.
Valuable point. I think somebody on my Facebook Live just a couple of days ago said something. I was talking about fear, and they said the difference between fear and excitement is breath. And so I think that really sits with what you're saying. Like, we can be caught up in our fear, but if we take a deep breath, we can realize the excitement. That energy transmutes into like something more empowering. So that's an
Yeah.
awesome gratitude. I don't think anybody's ever said that one, so I like that a lot.
Yeah. I heard it before.
Okay, good.
Alexandria also said breath.
Oh, did she? Oh my gosh, that's just
Yes.
me. Okay, cool. Okay, proven wrong. So I
I
would
don't.
love to ask you, to invite you, because what I'm really doing with these interviews with you guys is I really want to highlight, because I get to connect with you, for you personally over the last 2.5 years. I've got to share in your journey and what you've been moving through with the challenges, the successes, the breakthroughs, the transformations. And I really want to highlight some of the journey. And I really love your unique journey, because a big part of the unique journey that you've been on has been battling some really challenging and very relatable losses. And you have a very unique way of moving through and transmuting the pain of loss into some sort of creativity. And so I'd really love for you to share, however you want to tackle it, just some of that journey from what happened, like what were the challenges, particularly around loss, and how did you go about getting to yourself to like let go, and what were those sort of processes, or what did that journey look like?
Yeah, I have thought about this, how I should start a story, and maybe it's better if I start from the very beginning. And since I've been playing guitar for I don't know how long it is, I guess 20 years almost. Wow.
Wow.
Um, and I never really wanted to learn songs, and that's kind of a thing right now still. So I decided to, when 3 months in, I decided to just write my own songs. Then I shouldn't have to learn other songs. Only you have to learn your own songs. So kind of chasing my own tail, I guess. So what I so I started writing songs, and things started getting really intense and heavy, and not in a good way, in a bad way, and not feeling that you're on this earth, that's the right place for you. You don't feel like you belong. You don't feel like, at least I say to you, but I didn't I felt like I didn't belong, and I just I just needed a creative outlet, and the guitar was it certainly for me. And in 2003, when I got my first electric guitar, it went totally wild, you know. I mean, now I can finally make some real noise, you know, because I love an nylon string, but it's not that loud, but I still love it. But yeah, so yeah, so I started also, when things were getting bad, I started to write about those circumstances, and I always called it lyrics, but some texts were just that, just text, you know, nothing like a song or something, or else I always thought it was. So but yeah, so I started writing about that, and started realizing, whoa, I'm really good at this. And I'm 33 right now, almost 34, and it's getting harder. It's not it's not that uh it's it's not that it flow of that I can tap into that easily, but maybe that's also a thing, that things are be getting easy on me, or at least things are getting easy for me. So I have not that much flow in it, because I'm not in the bad situations anymore.
Yes.
So that's what I really believe. And so when I started writing, I was always I could write a song or a text in 5 minutes, no problem. And now I really have to search for the words, and does this rhyme, and blah blah blah. Okay, so fast forward, then yeah, my parents divorced, and
Mm.
I didn't have contact with my dad for 8 years, since 2005. And in 2013 we reconnected again. And yeah, he was really in really bad shape, and you could see really his depression, that he was depressed, and that he was just not fine. And it was really always really hard to connect with him. He was really not a communicator, and and kind of yeah, also a little bit maybe narcissistic or something. Um, at least, yeah, I believe that. And yeah, always such hard to communicate with him. So so then when we fast forward again, in 2019 he got really sick, and he was always some little sick, you know, some then it's kidneys, then it's this, then it's that, you know, everything started to bottle up. And I was always like, wow, how can his body manage to to still to still work, you know? I was really impressed by that, by his heart strength. And I was like, man, you have such a strong heart, but why can't you just try to grasp reality and make something of your life, or at least try, you know? And he was just in his house between the four walls and not doing anything, but he knew everything what was going on in the village, or and outside of it, but he just never came out, you know. And I helped him move in 2017. And yeah, that was a struggle in itself, because tried to motivate him to to move stuff, you know. And so I was like, oh, I know, do I need to be the father right now or something? You know, do I need to parent him for? Oh no, we just have to do this, do that. And in 2019, he got really ill and hospitalized. And then yeah, the first time I was in the hospital, I was like, he's not getting out of here alive. I just knew instantly. I saw how bad in shape he was. And so yeah, then after a short period of 2-3 weeks, yeah, he passed away. So so yeah, it's really strange. I was with him when he passed. And it was a bittersweet moment for me, because I never thought I would be there, you know. And it's it's just so yeah, like I said, bittersweet, that to be there and to have to spend that last moment with him. And yeah, it still gets me from time to time when I think back about it. And yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah.
can I just a couple of things on that, because I've taken so many notes because there's so many different angles with this. But um, just narrowing it down to those last moments with your dad, like what was that experience like? And did it help you? Like, is it something that you're grateful that you had, or is it something that, yeah, tell us a little bit about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I'm so grateful. At least he passed away in 2019, and I can honestly say it was the most beautiful moment of 2019. I mean, that's the day I will always remember. I will never forget it. You know, I just can't. It's just so, yeah, so beautiful. And me and my uncle, we stayed up all night, or at least we did shifts. Then he went to sleep, and this and that, but I stayed with him the longest. And I also had a working day from 7 p.m., you know. So I was really tired, but I just kept on staying. And I didn't want to go to the toilet, because I was like, don't die right now, you know. And and then he still managed to get through through the night. And yeah, in the morning they decided to get all the equipment off. He was on in the IC. And to get him off breathing. I don't know how I said it in English. And
Yeah.
and um and then it was like 5 to 8 till to 10 minutes, and he was gone, you know. And it was it's such a sweet moment. It's such a everything comes down to that, you know, all the, and you start thinking about the past, of course, but I already did that during that time. And yeah, and suddenly you just realize that what that it's, yeah, not that not that we ever overreacted or something, but because there were things wrong, but it's like this sudden forgiveness, this sudden acceptance, I think is the right word, came over me, and I was like, yes, this is right, you know, it's the right time for him to go. And it's the it went perfect, you know, and I was with him, and I still believe he noted he knew that we were there. And I will
Mm.
always believe that. So yeah, so that was really something something special. Yeah.
So, Brom, I want to ask you, because I think a lot of people hearing your story with this particular loss in your life can really relate. Like, we've all lost somebody in our life that's close to us in some capacity. And you mentioned that it was a really difficult, challenging relationship. Would it have been maybe the most difficult relationship that you had in your life growing up? Most challenging?
Growing up, I would probably, yeah, it's hard. It's hard. I think it will be in the top three. Yes, yes.
And so you mentioned that, your dad wasn't really emotionally available, and he was kind of, reclusive and cut off from the world and in his own four walls, like you mentioned, and hard to kind of connect with and get through to. And you mentioned, because that's challenging, right? For the father son dynamic and what you want in a father. And you mentioned that as he passed, you had that feeling of acceptance. You mentioned forgiveness, but was that kind of a healing process that took place at that meaningful moment, or what was the other elements of the journey, if any?
Yeah, I believe it was already before that. For instance, the first time I went to the hospital and saw him lying there, and he couldn't really talk because he couldn't swallow water, and he couldn't he didn't want to eat because he couldn't swallow, so it's pretty hard to eat. Uh, and
Mm.
um and when I came home, then the rain came down, you know, then I started to cry, and I was like, whoa, this is so intense. And 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 yeah, I think the forgiveness and the acceptance came really at the moment he actually died, you know, he actually went away. And
Yeah.
you put everything in perspective when you're with that. And I wish that everybody could be with his parent, to whether it's your father or your mother, to be with that in that moment. But it's not a given, you know. I never thought I would be there with him. So that that's why it's multiplied by 10 for me, the experience, because I always thought I'd get a phone call, Bram, your father has passed away. That was always my vision. And that it was like this, it was awesome. It was awesome. It was, yeah, maybe that's the right word. It was awesome, you know. It left me in awe, really. So um
Mm.
yeah.
So, Brom, I love that you're sharing this, because I know from in my own personal life, the times when I've lost really dear people to me, like, it's been a kind of self check-in to see how I handle that and how I show up in such a meaningful moment, right? And I'm going to test your memory, because you said you had a really great, well, you showed me you had a really great memory that's way better than mine, because I got the worst memory ever. But I don't know if you remember back, it must have been in 2018. So when I was traveling around, I think I was in Greece, and I delivered one of our masterclasses, which was on contemplating death. And basically, I remember I shared that story with Ken Wilber and Treya, his wife, as you know, she battled cancer. I really want to recommend everybody to go and read the book Grace and Grit. And there's even a movie coming out about that, which I can't wait for. But do you remember, because that was so moving to me. I think I was crying reading that to you guys in that masterclass. And do you remember, because that was so close to the time with what you experienced with your father, do you remember like any sort of things that kind of put death into perspective for you, or any relatability for dealing with that?
Well, I don't know. It wasn't really the same time, because 2018 was it, and of the
Yeah.
masterclass, and 2019, at the end of 2019 was when he died. But I understand your question, because that's something I want to go back to, because when I read that, I will totally look at it a different way, with a new perspective, because of the experience. And so so I remember what I shared, because I had I had an accident with my car in 2018, and I was like I was like, oh whoa, yeah, I don't know how much I can share about that, but yeah, that's certainly yeah, now that you mention it, I'm like, oh, I should maybe read that story again or something, or revisit the whole thing, and maybe read the book.
And wait for the movie. I've been checking on the release date of that, and it kind of kept
Oh, there
changing.
will
But
be a movie. Okay. Oh.
I just wanted to throw that in there for people who might be in a similar position to what you just shared, or or it's not, right? Like, contemplating death is not something that has to be so morbid that we want to run away from. It actually gives us such perspective on what you just articulated with that last moment that you got to spend with your father, and the sense of awe, and the sense of acceptance, and the sense of kind of getting beyond our fears and our insecurities and our judgments and all that stuff. When you're presented with a moment of awe and awoken to the meaning of life, and so you can transition to that place of letting go, of acceptance, and we can grab onto an experience like that and use it to our advantage outside of those moments as well, when we have the
Yes.
courage to contemplate death. And that's why I wanted to do that masterclass for everybody, because it was powerful, the experiences that I personally had with death. And at the time, I had just completed that 10-day silent meditation retreat, and the
Mhm.
teachers read that chapter of the book that I read to you guys in that masterclass, and it was so moving. Also, there's another book called the Tibetan Book of the Dead, which really
Mm.
articulates more spiritual side of the passing away. And I think it's a really healing, something to fill your mind with and your heart with, when you're faced with challenges like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to ask you also to, because I know I've got so many questions I'd love to ask you, but I want to also invite you to share any other parts of that healing process, or any other losses that you have experienced, that maybe your creativity, or, you mentioned like right now things are pretty good in your life, right? And so it's harder to get into that creative flow. And I really relate to that. My best creativity comes from when I got real challenges going on, right? And you get that fuel. So yeah, tell us a little bit more about maybe any of the other losses that have created your flow in your music and what you love.
Yeah, let me go back a little bit, because I want to mention something also, uh, which I am totally lost right now. No, but it's like the bad things. The bad things are the things we write about, to I think, help other people relate, because you write a song or you write a poem, it doesn't matter. You write a song, a text to
Yeah.
to whether it's a sales text or something else, you want to draw people in. And that's always what I find with my favorite music, because uh, yeah, they inspire me, and I hope to one day be that inspiration to others, to that they refer to my song as like, whoa, that sentence right there, that says it all. That's always my thought. And with the what was your question with the creativity? Um, No, I wanted to say something else about death. I believe death is really a beautiful thing. It's just not, yeah, like you said, it's always this morbid, this sad, and it's the thing, And of course, there is truth to that, I mean, you lose somebody which you may or may not love. I don't know, different for everyone. But yeah, it puts everything in perspective. But death is a really beautiful thing, because yeah, without death you wouldn't maybe appreciate life, you wouldn't appreciate breathing, because the dead don't breathe, like I said, I'm most grateful for breath, because that makes you alive. And your other question about the other losses, yes, I had a relationship with a woman in 2014, and yeah, we were hitting it off quite fast. We were really yeah, we were doing a course together, and I came to her, and then we started falling in love, at least, which my perspective is right now. I think I was the only one falling, or being, and she was falling, I think. um so and it always, it's been a I learned so much from that. I learned so much from her, uh, as to what I don't want to have in a relationship, because she mirrored to me. At first she was great and all, and I would never speak bad about her. And of course, I have from time to time think that B word, you know. But yeah, I'm still, I never really wanted to like hate her or something. I always felt like that wouldn't help me, Of course, I was disappointed, and I was sad, and I was heartbroken, but she, she gave me so much perspective. And also, when 2014 was also the year that I really started getting into the personal development. I like the word. Um, uh, and and every book I read, every song I heard, every movie I saw reminded me of her, and so she was really teaching me after she broke up with me. She was teaching me through, I don't know, mind or something. I don't know, just myself. Like, oh yeah, I should have done this better and done that better. Don't we all do that? Huh? We always wish we were better this, better that, and yes, sometimes you can just meet that. You can't meet others' requirements, and I think that's a shame, because I think people should be. I'm almost like a preacher right now. I think people should be more focused on getting their goals together, and not just, this is me, this is you. You should be more than me, or more like me. I mean that, and it's always the same. Yeah, the same thing, and I don't think it's healthy. And I mean, now when I look back at it, it wasn't a healthy start. It wasn't. We went much too fast. That's my realization, really. We went much too fast, and it ended much too fast. Because I don't hate her, I still love her to some degree, and I will not speak bad about her. I just will not. And maybe if she watches this sometimes, or for some time, I don't know. I mean, I don't hate you. I never did, you know, even though I thought I did, but I never did. So yeah, but
I
it
just want to
was,
for a second there.
yeah.
Sorry, Bram, because I want to just tie this little piece in because one of your greatest skills and gifts is being able to convey emotion through your art form. And I remember when you hadn't spoken all that much about your relationship too much, but you shared a song that you created, like through the pain and the heartbreak and the challenge. And it was so moving. Like you had all, like I was crying. Like I think everybody in our team was very moved because it was so relatable. Like, you know, we've all experienced heartbreak from relationships, you know, people wanting to change us and us wanting to change others and all that sort of stuff. It was so relatable. And yeah, I'm almost getting goosebumps thinking about how moved I was when you shared that. Because sometimes, you know, it's easier for people such as yourself. You have this gift to transmute that emotion so that other people experience it with you. And sometimes that is way better than words, right? Like way better than trying to have a conversation about it. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that in there because that was such a gift that you're able to transition, and that was kind of healing for you, wasn't it? To be able to write and to be able to you know, express that energy through your art form. Yeah, so was that a big part of the healing journey for you?
Yeah, because of course I always thought writing, or not thought, I experienced that when I wrote things down, it got, you write it off, you know, you write it out of yourself onto paper or type something. Paper is better, I think. But um um yeah, so wait a minute. I'm a little bit off guard. Yeah, so that's really, yeah, that's really, yeah, I'm a little, does that answer your question?
Yep, got it, got it. Yeah. I just think, you know, I really relate to that experience because I'm not an artist in the same way that you are, right? And for me, it's always writing. Like that's how I deal with my challenges is I write them out and then I speak them out. And actually that's why this whole process of, you know, whilst I've known you, and me just jumping on Facebook Lives, like that's why I'm so grateful to people who watch that stuff because I actually feel like they give me a platform to heal from, you know, because that's my form of expression and sharing and authenticity and your own unique experience being, you know, out, you get it out of you, you know, and put it out into the world. And I don't know, but like it's almost like, I don't know if I'm right or wrong on this and you see if it resonates with you, but because you've got that gift and that knowledge and that experience of transmuting your internal turmoil into something creative and moving in the outside world, and you know how that heals you, it would have made it probably even more challenging to watch your father, knowing that he had this internal turmoil, but he didn't do anything to express it. You know, you couldn't connect with him on it. He wasn't sharing it. He was just locking himself in those four walls. And you know, we've titled today's topic, you know, breaking out of the prison of your own mind. I feel like that's almost a very good metaphor for, you know, your dad sitting in his own four walls, not able to break out of the prison of his own mind. And what you're highlighting is your ability to go, this is painful, but I refuse to stay stuck in the prison of my own mind. I'm going to do something about this. I'm going to create something with this pain. And yeah, does that resonate with you? Is that kind of, yeah, your
Yeah,
experience or your
totally.
perspective?
Because he still inspires me, you know. He still if I think of a lyric or something, and I have other lyrics as well that I, when I focus on him, I uh, I have a song, you know, for instance, and it's not called For Instance, um and I rewrote I rewrote it three times, you know, to be, the chorus was always right, but the rest wasn't, you know, it wasn't flowing, it wasn't. And and when I really focused on him after he passed, then I was really like, oh, maybe I should just do it from his point of view. So I was like imagining me in a room. Of course, I'm in a room with four white walls right now, but I was always like, yes, or I was like, oh, and then it was like this, and then it was like that, and I started writing, and I wrote some keywords down, and I never do that. I never write keywords down, so it just needed to be like that way, you know. And yeah, it's just, yeah, so amazing to be able to write a story like that, and maybe try to make some music behind it. And that's also why I like instrumental music as well, because those are the songs, or the music that maybe people didn't find that words were needed, you know, that the music says everything, because music is a universal language. Everyone gets it, you know. I mean, you can't, if you hear a melody, you can always think of something to imagine what that would say. But yeah, so yeah, that's it.
So, will we get to maybe hear a little?
Sure.
I think
I will see.
everybody would love to hear.
You
Um,
can't have a Facebook Live with me without me playing something, right?
talk
Let me get
about
that thing.
walking the talk. I think it was a bit of a tease up on the wall. We're all waiting. Come on, like I want to hear some of this. So,
Yeah, it was
what do
not
you?
for. Hmm?
What are you going to share?
Well, this is a song with a specific title, and it's called "Breaking Out of the Prison," pretty much.
The
And
beating.
yeah, so that's why the title.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's. I will just play it. I'm not gonna share anything. Just hear it, right? Sometimes it's hard to see the bigger picture. I know it's all different from what I've seen. Even though everything's an illusion, it always seems so real to me. If we knew the power within us, if we could see through everybody's life, we would know the things that are hidden. We would find some peace of mind. That's why I'm breaking out of prison, out of the patterns I've believed in for so long. I'm laying down my expectations, 'cause they always prove to me they will go wrong. sometimes it's hard to get a clear view of what is right in front of you. Even though you know where to look for, you can't seem to find which way to go. We knew the struggles and battles and how to get through them easily. We would know where to stop all these mind games. We would find the treasures within. That's why I'm breaking out of the prison, out of the patterns I believed in for so long. I'm laying down my expectations, 'cause they always prove to me they will go wrong. Sometimes I don't know how I'm gonna get through the night. I know it's not so easy for me, even though I tried hard to fight against it. The truth always catches up with me. That's why I'm breaking out of the patterns I believed in for so long. I'm laying down my expectations, 'cause they always prove to me it will go wrong. I'm breaking down those beliefs that stand like a wall in front of me. The tides finally turn. I know now who I am. Don't want any more limitations, 'cause I've had enough of crying. I don't need those frustrations anymore. That's why I'm breaking out of the prison, out of the patterns I believed in for so long. I'm laying down my expectations, 'cause they always prove to me they will go wrong. I'm breaking out of the prison, breaking out of the patterns that are inside of my mind. I'm breaking out of the prison, the hurt and the feelings I felt so long inside.
Oh, I muted myself, but wow,
Thank you.
I haven't heard before. And oh my gosh, I had so I was just like, number one, when's the album coming out? Because I always say I want to be the first one to buy it. I want to be the number one fan. And number two, not wait till I'm able to run some live events and we're able to bring everybody together. And I would love for you to, because your songs are so filled with personal development. Like they're so relatable, they're so moving. Like everything you just shared in that song, like I really want that. Like I want to play that out in my room with it. I want to let it out. I just feel like it's amazing. And they're like personal development songs to me, which I
Yeah,
love.
that's one thing I can go around, right? It's just I just love like the songs of like Bon Jovi, one of my favorite bands, Richard Marx. He writes great lyrics, and yeah, I just love it when a song gets so deep, you know, because I for instance, one of my favorite songs ever is like Dry County by Bon Jovi, and there's a lyric, see if I can remember it. It's like, um yeah, I cursed the sky to open, I begged the clouds for rain, I prayed all night for water, for this burning in my veins. I'm like, wow. And
Yeah.
it's like tattoo worthy, you know. If I will ever get a tattoo, maybe I will, maybe on my back or something, I don't know. And
Yeah.
that's such an amazing song, and songs just have that power, you know. Accompany text accompanied by music, it's just so powerful. And that's what I want to do with it, you know. That's
Absolutely.
why that's why it's my passion, you know. That's why I want to play guitar.
True. Well, I'm so grateful for you sharing that piece of you with us all. And oh my gosh, it's so amazing. And we've got some peeps watching and stuff. So we'll dive into so I'd love for people to drop comments. What are your thoughts and stuff like that? But because we are starting to run out of time and I want to get into the lightning round questions with you.
Yeah.
Uh, Before I ask you that, actually, what is the next for you in reaching the next level of your potential?
um
Putting the album out?
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just looking at my notes right now. um yeah, exactly, completing my album, sharing that music, and of course keep developing my personally, and on what way, whatever. And yeah, also a new way of living, you know, a new way of living with more focus on the things I want to achieve. That's really what I want. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. Love it. All right, let's do these lightning round questions. And I want
Fire.
to ask you, let's do it. All right. So, what do the words limitless potential mean to you?
Yeah, that's a great question. To me, it's like to always reach from the inside, which you can bring to the outside, and to be
Mm,
creative in every kind of way, and to be able to express that and feel that, and to just be you, you know, to just be completely you, yeah. And I of course I still struggle with that sometimes, because sometimes I don't even know who the me is anymore, you know. Because it's like, also like you, how much, how, what is the saying, the more you learn, the more you don't know what you know, you know. It's just yeah. So that's my
exactly.
answer.
Yeah, and I just as a little side note on that, like I love what you mentioned at the beginning, which highlights your authenticity, right? And your deep connection to yourself, which is I don't want to memorize other people's songs. I want to play my own. I want to write my own. I want to play my own. So I really resonate with that. And I love that. I love that about you.
Yeah, of course
So
I'm just lazy.
I don't think that's lazy. I don't think having to like create your own songs and oh my gosh,
No, no,
like all the
no.
work.
I just wish I was more focused on learning other people's songs. That's more what I mean. Because I
I
have all these books and all these instructional DVDs, and yeah, you know.
Yeah, I know what you mean though, because like for me, sometimes it's like I don't want that to take over who I am because we're so malleable, you know. We're so
Oh, should that be the reason? Oh, yeah.
all right, cool.
Yeah.
What's something that you believe that other people think is insane?
I think that I always think I'm kind of weird, but I
Yeah,
guess I am in a way. But yeah, other people say, oh, you're so normal or something, or you're so something else, you know. But weird is not never the word, you know. So it's more of a me thing, I think. So yeah, that's it.
Love it. Good one. And what book have you given most as a gift or recommendation?
Well, not as a gift, but the one book I have it right here is just like they should just teach this stuff in school, what's inside this book. And it's oh,
Uh-huh.
it's mirrored, but it's Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Because that book, if you read that book and it doesn't set you off, just throw it away, I mean, if you read that book, it will set you in a kind of a moving state. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing what that book can do.
Yeah, I second that for sure. Like a lot of other people, I think it's like a Bible of personal development. So great recommendation. And what do the first 60 minutes of your day look like?
Well, right now, they're not so glamorous or something. It's just trying to get out of bed, and I really say that trying, because I am trying to. Actually reading a book called Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod right now, and
Good.
I want to change that. I want to start my day early, because my day, when I'm home, it's 8. No, it's 6 a.m. and then I have my evening, and then I never really get something done in that time. So I'm just trying to maybe make that a priority, a focus, to wake up earlier than I do, and to maybe get into a routine,
Yeah.
to
Well,
live.
I'm helping you with that right now, keeping you up till nearly 11 p.m. right now, your time. So,
Yeah, but staying up is not a problem. It's waking up that's a problem.
well, I always say that morning starts the night before. So I have to make myself go to bed early to be able to get up
Yeah, I
early.
heard someone else say that. Yes. I don't know
I
where.
originally said that, but yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And I love Hal Elrod. So great book.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have a quote that you live by or think about often?
Yes, and it's by this great man which you, I think, heard of. He's called Albert Einstein. And it's called We Cannot Solve Our
Ah,
Problems with the Same Kind of Thinking We Used When We Created Them. I always thought it was so beautiful. It's like my favorite quote for 6, 7, 8 years right now. So nothing beats that.
I, I'm with you on that one. That is amazing. And it's so able to break you out of the prison of your own mind, right? A good one for that.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
it. Awesome. And what have you changed your mind about in the last few years and why?
God and religion, really, because the two were always related. And I think we should learn to see them separated as well, to really see the what does God really mean, and what does the religion mean. And I'm not putting any religion down. I mean, you can believe everything you want. I don't mind, I can get along with everyone, no matter what religion you're from. But it's like keeping them, or seeing them separately and then connect them together, to get the bigger picture.
Mm. Well, that is like such an amazing answer. Like a couple of weeks ago, or when our last couple of months ago, maybe it was, but we had that discussion, remember? And like we were all talking about religion, and we had people in the group who were atheists, like, I come from an atheist background. We had people in the group who go to church every week. We had people in who were, more spiritual than religious. And we had this really great conversation around it. So I really love what you shared. And I think it's a really good original thought, and something that we can be more empowered with by, like you said, creating a bigger picture, like kind of opening up our our minds and deciding for ourselves when we're able to separate the two. So yeah, awesome, love it. Okay, and how has a failure set you up for later success?
Well, when I was an electrician, I got an accident during my shift, and I fell from a stair trap, or I don't know what the word is. Staircase, yes.
Oh, okay.
And I shattered my wrist, and it was like so bad that the doctor said it will never be like before, you know. And I was feeling really defeated by that, because that meant I could never play guitar anymore. And so when the sadness went away, I was like, we'll see about that. And I went to work with my physical therapist, and we got it done, you know. I can play guitar for quite some time right now, and I'm really good again, you know. And it took some time, but yeah, I managed it. So that's it.
That's amazing. Yeah, absolutely. And now I do remember you sharing that. And that's amazing to think that, to have that experience of having something so close to your heart, like your passion, potentially taken away from you in the form that you love it. And to be able to just not take no for an answer and do whatever you can to make a different reality for yourself, which is awesome. Okay, awesome. So I just wanted to do a quick check-in and say hi to everybody who was able to join us today. And we've got Bill in the house saying hey to all of us. And we've got Kelly Kecker and Graham, and we've got Henry and Namia and Arian and Paul and Wael and Carol and Olivia and Scott and Ulrich and Jerry and Paul and Data and Ramo, who you got to meet the other day, and Dan and Judy and Leslie. And Judy's saying it was beautiful, your music. So
Thank you.
We've got that going on. And Bill says, great. It was awesome. So love it, love it, love it. And of course, we'll get some other people. So if you have any questions or comments, make sure that you do drop them in, and we can check in after the recording as well. But Bram, you are exceptional, my friend. Do you have any last words that you would like to share that just come to your mind to our audience?
Yeah, I just hope that everyone will reach their or at least try to reach their potential and do what they love to do. And yeah, just be you.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
And best. So Bram, before we wrap up, I just want to acknowledge you so much for coming on to the show, for sharing your journey so openly and courageously with us all, making it so relatable, and particularly sharing your beautiful gifts. It's always a pleasure to get to be on this journey with you and get to witness your growth and your transformation and your insights and your breakthroughs, and definitely can't wait for the album. And I'm sure other people listening to it are going to be in the same boat. And we've got Data clapping, and we've got Ramo saying thanks for sharing. So that's it. I hope you've had fun, my friend.
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah, great.
And I'll see you in our next catch-up call. And so much love and appreciation for you and for everybody watching.
Sure thing. Have a nice evening, day, or whatever, wherever you are. Bye.
Love it. Right. See ya.